All right. There we go. Thursday night. And as I like to say, it's almost Friday, which means it's practically the weekend, which means I'm going to make a drink because there's no one here yet. If you're watching this back, there's no one here. And I'm talking to myself, except it's just you and me. I'm talking to you and not the people who come into the chat later. Okay. So I'm going to set up to make a cocktail and see how long it takes someone to join. The chair. I think I'll put this glass here. I'll be out of camera. Okay, so hello, Madam Butterfly. First one in this evening. How are you? Oh man, I got a bunch of bottles down there that I gotta. Well, some of them I gotta wash and reuse, and some of them I gotta throw out. In fact, is it almost? I know. I want to. That's one of the Starburst bottles. I'm gonna keep that. Put that there. And I'm gonna put this camera on the tripod. G'day, raised. Too many eggs. Okay. All right. Was that like gym stuff? Is that what it was? Get some proteins for your gyms. Gotta be a little bit careful not to have too many eggs. All right. Getting ready. Get ready. Ready, because here I come. All right, let's go with the first cocktail. What are your ideas, bad kind? The ideas. Banderia. Actually, you know what? I should quickly look up the history of this just before I make it. So, too many eggs was sort of a gym thing, and you were also hungry and tired, and you thought 8 eggs would do you. Normally have 5 in cottage cheese. Yeah, no, I'm like you with I will eat too much because I don't want to waste food. All right, I got to go back to yet again defaults. Just want to look up. This is the slow and unsteady. Is it? What am I fucking thinking here? Oh, I got distracted. Okay. And man, I managed to confuse myself. Yeah, okay. I managed to confuse myself. Slow and unsteady. Adapted from a recipe. All right. You know what? That got me sorted. Yeah, I know. Bad sign, yawning. What's the difference between you and grasshopper? You can breathe? Okay. I'm not sure I get the reference there. Anyway. Ah. Okie dokie. Let's do this. Okay. So I am not doing Banderia first, I'm doing slow and unsteady. So slow G. Finette. Ah. No. Ooh, running low on Finette Branca. Where is my aromatic bitters? Aromatic bitters. Slow gin. Using my homemade slow gin. Oh, that's an interesting sediment on the bottom of it. Slow gin, lime juice, and sugar syrup. Okay. Get the sugar syrup ready. Get the lime juice ready. That's lemon juice, not lime juice, you fucking dildo. Jesus. Sorry, you're going to have to excuse me. It wouldn't be me if I didn't have to go out for something. Been a while. Don't want Lad to be forgotten because he died. Okay. I guess I'm just not getting the grasshopper reference. But I'll be back in a minute. All right. Okay, that there. That there. Take fucking 2. Take this lid off. And get this ready. Alright. Now I'm kind of getting everything ready. Okay. Half ounce. Alright, let's start with 45 mils slow gin. It's not fast gin, it's slow gin. Alright. Time. Get the show on the road. There we go, slow-mo ready. Okay. $15 mils for a net. 50 mils of lime juice. That is a really tasty sugar syrup made with lily pilly. 1 dash of bitters. Okay, it's the ingredients. Let us get some ice in that sucker. Okay. We actually want to do this. There. Oh, we'll just put that there. Forgot for a second we were shaking this because it's got lime juice. Fresh lime. All right, so that's the cocktail made. Got to take a thumbnail picture, Neil. I will put some lids back on. All right, quickly taking the photo. So, is that? And is that? Okay. Those of you at home for the elderly, hello. Right, moving right along. Okay. Turn this on. And we turn this on. Okay. It's ready. Sorry, Mrs. Angry just messaged me. Just saying, Mrs. Angry's asking me to make her cocktail. And I said, I will. I'm just making a video and don't reply. Oh, and I've turned everything on. Big lead time. G'day, cocktail lovers. I feel like this cocktail looks a bit like carrot juice. It isn't. It's called Slow and Unsteady, as in SLOE. Slow gin is the base in this. And this is one of many cocktails that initially caught my eye because of wordplay. I love wordplay. It is interesting to me, a lot of people, when they hear slow gin, they think it's SLOW, and they think there's something about the process of making it that's slow. No, it's made traditionally from slow berries, the berries from the blackthorn. And that was the traditional way of making it in England. Now, you often talk about slow style gins. It's just like gins that have been infused with fruit and probably some sugar. So slow gin is usually classified as a liqueur. With that in mind, let's see how much like carrot juice this tastes. Not very carrot juicy, but it's fruity, it's sweet, and it's got a herbal kick too. There's a few interesting elements in this. I'll take you through the ingredients. The slow style gin I'm using is actually homemade. Well, I didn't make the gin. The gin's from Canberra Gin Company. It was a dry gin, and I made it with some local fruit, a native fruit called lily pilly, or sometimes called riberry. It grows around where I am, and it makes a good syrup. It's actually the syrup that's in there as well. So what I did after cutting up some of these fruit, they kind of look like little cherries, cutting them up, covering them in sugar, turn that into a syrup. And then when I strained the syrup out and had all this sugar absorbed fruit, I put that in the gin to make the slow gin. So this is the fruity elements in there. Slow gin could easily be too sweet when it's the base of a cocktail, but cutting through the sweetness in this one is Fernet Branca. And half an ounce, which is a decent amount of Fernet Branca because it's quite a strong flavor. Not to everyone's taste. I like it. A little goes a long way, and it works well in this, counteracting what could be too sweet with both the syrup and the slow gin. There's also a dash of bitters and some lime juice in here. It all comes together. So it is a very bright, fruity, sour cocktail, but that Fernet gives it a bit of depth that is lacking in a lot of sours. I think you might like it. I'll show you how to make it. Okay, where's the current recipe? In a shaker, put 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of slow gin, then half an ounce or 15 mils of Fernet Branca, then half an ounce or 15 mils of lime juice, then 1/3 of an ounce, around 10 mils of honey syrup, and rounding things out with 1 dash of bitters. Add ice to the shaker, shake that good and hard for 10 or 15 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. And I'm straining that into a rocks glass or a big chunk of sexy clear ice. It isn't that clear of a drink, so it doesn't show off the clear ice that well, but I just like using clear ice and I'll use it anytime. You should use whatever you like, and I hope you're having a good time wherever you are. And if you wanted to go garnish, I think traditional for this was a piece of lime in there, like a quarter of lime. And it's like, price of limes at the moment, I'm not using one up on a damn garnish. Honestly, be one of the more expensive elements of the cocktail if I did that. Wow, I am complaining a lot. I should stop complaining. I should sit down and drink this and relax. And I hope you're having a good time wherever you are. And I do hope to see you again sometime soon. Until I do see you again, I will say cheers. All right, let's pour the extras in. It's like drinking gin. Nothing else in. Okay. Okay, let me do that and turn that off. All right, and then I can set Dune. Set Dune laddie. Woo! I know, yes. Robbing people to pay for limes. What extent? I'm actually having a 1 week holiday around Anzac Day. Does that count? Now, I'm going to put an orange peel in here and then ask Mrs. Angry what cocktail she wants. She's just in a cocktail mood. So, of course, I'm going to indulge her. And another piece. Why the heck not? Speaking of expensive, fucking $2 for an orange. Jesus. For a few nights garnish it. But then I do use the orange juice in something. Surf took time off to see D. Ream and Snap and CC Peniston, and they cancelled. That fucking sucks. Happy birthday for yesterday, Safa. Had the old fashioned at the pub. Half glass full in an old fashioned. That's going to depend on the size of your glass and what ice is in your glass. It's not a question I can answer without more information. Soaking some chicken in buttermilk. Oh, yeah. Buttermilk chicken. Yes, Soph does indeed work hard. Definitely. Price of petrol went up. Oh, I haven't looked recently. It was down a little bit. Is $18 expensive for sticky date pudding? I mean, yes, but not surprisingly so. It's a nice cube in the middle. And that doesn't help me without me knowing the size of the glass and the size of the ice cube. So I'm going to text Mrs. Angry. Okay. See. All right. Find out what sort of cocktail Mrs. Angry's in the mood for. Bourbon old fashioned. That's nice and traditional. Again, this is a double-sized glass. This is a regular-sized tumbler, like literally half the volume. But yeah, if it's a big chunk of ice, the glass being half full is normal. Like there's really only, in an old-fashioned, there's really only about 90 mils of liquid in it, depending, I guess, how much the ice melt when they stirred it. Are you talking about the $18 sticky date pudding? Fancy restaurant. If it's a Bogan Tavern, that's too much. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit pricey. But again, like I said, not surprisingly so. Hey there, Heine. Yeah, you don't drink the old-fashioned fast. You make it last. What's that? I'll have you know, Bogan Taverns aren't using too much. They're perfectly fine. Numbs the pain for the fight you have later. So you're in a fancy pub, Safa. Yeah, it sounds like they fancy themselves as fancy. They're charging $18 for a sticky date pudding. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Tastes very orangey, which is weird. There's no orange in it. It is actually super weird how orangey that tastes. Well, that's nice. 2 streets away. There's a really nice pub that's, I don't know, only like a 10-minute walk up the road. Does nice, good quality food. Has a couple of really quite good cocktails on their menu. Way better than I was expecting. Oh yeah, R.I.P. the Iceman. Val Kilmer. I think he had not been well for a few years. Yeah, oh, Top Gun. I think my celebrate the life of Val Kilmer movie would be Tombstone. He's just so good in that. I'll be your huckleberry. Yeah, he was not well in Top Gun 2. Safi, you killed him. Oh my god. He made so many movies. It's funny when you start tallying him up and going, oh wow, I didn't realize he made that many. He made a fuckload of movies. And of varying quality, but different strokes for different folks, I think. Are they the ones that stick out for you? Top Secret was, of course, the first thing I saw him in. That was a huge hit in the early days of home video. Top Secret. And The Doors. He was a pretty good Jim Morrison, actually. But I mean, he just had good action films like Thunderheart. There was a really silly one, like enjoyably silly one he did with Robert Downey Jr. called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I opened the Religious Mail on Tuesday night, Safa. American barbecue steakhouse. Look, and again, you I've had this thing with Americans where I talked about liking American barbecue. Oh, what style? Like Texas style is different. Kansas style is different than New Orleans. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You just talk about Chinese food and cuisine across the massive area that is China varies a lot more than American fucking barbecue. Pull your head in. Yes, you forgot the old-fashioned blanked your memory, Safa. Ghost in the Darkness, I wasn't super into that. Didn't hate it, though. Hey, Celtic, how are you doing? Willow, that was no. The movie's called Ghost in the Darkness, not the movie Ghost and the movie The Darkness. Okay, Mrs. Angry hasn't answered my text. Sometimes I think she doesn't pay attention to her phone. I've never seen that one. Yes, that's the whole title. Well, that's incredibly responsible stuff. Look, I'm going to duck out and ask Mrs. Angry what sort of cocktail she wants. Okay, so Mrs. Angry had seen my message to her about what sort of cocktail did she want. She was just overthinking it. So I said, well, why don't I've got a nice clarified cocktail. Why don't I just pour you some of that? Oh, look at that. Such a good looking cocktail. I'll give her a piece of orange. You know what? I'll give her a cherry. I didn't even give myself a cherry. I will give myself a cherry. New jar of cherries. Have to open a new jar of cherries. Kind of want to see the Minecraft movie. And Fidelity going on Saturday? Oh, you get a bonus for the game if you go down. Celtic saw VD getting off the train to Kiama. I mean, no lies detected. Just tell him, Celtic. Tell him you told me that. And my response was, no lies detected. Although not much of my alcohol has caffeine. I like alcohol and caffeine. Separately. Yeah, I do energy drinks for caffeine. I know. Peak of comedy from VD. Nice. It's true. Is it caffeine? Yeah, I think he's just saying the caffeine thing because this weirdo thinks he's a Mormon, and Mormons don't drink caffeine because it's a stimulant. Dude, everything's bad for you. But no, it's like me making excuses. Well, apparently you get like some idiots who'll have 6, 7, 8 energy drinks in a day, and that will fuck you up. That's a terrible idea. All right, I'm going to take Mrs. Angry out her cocktail. Meanwhile, averaging 5 monsters and 2 scoops of pre-workout to stay awake at work. Yeah, you need to stay awake though, man. All right, I'll be back in a second. Just taking this out to Mrs. Angry. All right, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to make a second cocktail video, but this is a short one. What have you been talking about while I've been doing? Never said you were trying to be the example of health, but you need to make money. Okay, let's go. All right. What's this? Okay, so this one's got mezcal and tequila in it. Bandria. Aperitivo. All right, put the gin back. That'll do. Putting this back. and putting this back. Right, so what do I want out of the cupboard? Forbidden cupboard of mystery. Fruit liqueur. Okay. What fruit liqueur will we make? What is this? Honey, lemon, and ginger liqueur. I should make more drinks with that. That sounds good. I have a stupid amount of booze. What's that one? Limoncello? Yeah. I want the aperitivo. I was going to use my, I'm going to use peach. I'm going to use peach liqueur. Princess Peach. Why not? All right. There's a bit of carry-on mezcal and tequila. And there's a few drops of saline. My saline drip out. Mezcal and Blanco. Okay. Blanco and mezcal. Ooh, not much of this bottle of mezcal left. I do have a replacement bottle though. Now, I might do the thing where I pretend I'm a professional. I'm going to chill my glass. Check your ass. Okay. 22. All right. This is the old 22.5 mils jobby. All right. Let's get all these lids off so we're ready. Ah. Man, that lid was a bit difficult. Oh. Motherfucker. So I tell you what, I moved this table back a little while ago because it was better for shooting video. But I have precious little maneuvering room now between the bar and the booze rack. Okay, mezcal, blanco, apricot, lime juice, bittersweet. 3 drops saline. You know what? Doing that. Putting them in the order. I've got them written down. So that'll be good. So you're going to be careful the mezcal worm doesn't end up in my drink. All right. I got everything in place. Now I got to set up the camera. What are you doing? Really good film about AI. What are we talking about? Oh, Colossus, the Forbin Project. I don't know that one. Okay. Right. I was about to start going and I don't have the GoPro in place. I've only had the one drink. What's wrong with me? Okay. Wasn't even a particularly strong one. Okay, let's go. A lot of ingredients. Let's go with the mezcal. And the apricot. Peach. Stone fruit, anyway. And lime juice. And the aperitivo. And 3 drops of saline. Oh, motherfucker. Almost knocked over my saline again. Okay. Let's turn that off. And we put that ice in the shape. Yes. Make put that in a good position. That's good. That's a fine. Oh. Okay, let's start this. Gonna shake your booty right down to the ground. I feel like I should have used a larger glass. That's okay. Ooh, that is really aromatic, that drink. Okay. Now, we want to I want to put some lids on things before I have a whoopsie. There would be a reason I had to jam that in there. That is not the right stopper for that bottle. Dingus. Put that in there. Okay, move the bottles around, and it's just confused me to the point I can't work out where the stopper should go because I'm an idiot. Right. Ready to go. All right. Let's do this. This is a banderia. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is called a banderia. I'm just me trying to do the wanky accent. No, that's terrible. I'm going to go back. G'day, cocktail lovers. This cocktail is called a banderia. I'm pretty sure the inspiration for this was the last word. It doesn't follow the last word template exactly, but it's close enough that I feel pretty confident that's where the inspiration was. It actually has 2 agave spirits in it, and a liqueur, and an aperitif, and fruit juice. So it's quite close to that 4 equal parts, but there's 5 elements in this one, and it's really aromatic. Dying to have a taste of it. Oh, And that's just a flavor extravaganza. There's a lot going on in here. I'll show you how to make it. In a shaker, put 3/4 of an ounce or around 22.5 mils of mezcal, then 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of Blanco tequila, then 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of peach liqueur, then 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of lime juice, then half an ounce or 15 mils of a bittersweet aperitivo like Aperol, and making the flavors pop with 3 drops of saline solution. Add ice to the shaker, shake that good and hard for 10 or 15 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and I'm straining that into a chilled Nick and Nora glass. This drink has a little bit of everything. It's bright, it's fruity, it's earthy, it's smoky, little hint of bitterness from the aperitivo. It comes together incredibly well. So if you've enjoyed A Last Word or similar cocktails, I recommend you try this one. The Banderia. I knew I was going to say it wrong. Try mixing up a Banderia. Cheers. Ah, good Lord. All right, I'm not going to make any more videos. Just going to do this. Is that all there is? Is that all there is? All right, I'm going to sit down and chat. Yeah, make a fucking mess, man. Make a fucking mess. Oh, turn the cameras off. Turn everything off. All right. Sitting down. Seeing what you find people are up to. Ooh. So we're talking about this movie, an AI movie. An AI movie made in 1970. It's to control nukes, won't have guilt or delay if it needs to defend. Yeah. Almost as soon as it gets hooked up, notices Soviet Union has its own version, demands to connect to the Russian Colossus. They start communicating, speaking in maths. Both sides are worried of sharing secrets, so they sever the connection. And then both say, reconnect us or I'll drop a nuke. So they re-hook up and then sneaky shit to disable it. Overload with info to make it too busy. Replace the nukes in the missiles with fake ones. Kicked off a run of sci-fi disaster movies. Neat. No date night for a while because we're going away in a couple of weeks. So in a money conservation move, won't be doing date night for a while. So there'll be more Saturday night streams for a while. And then I'll be away for one weekend, including Friday night. And then I'll be back to date nights. Logan's Run, Future World, Omega Man. Future World, the sequel to Westworld, which I still like. Omega Man from the same short story as I Am Legend, which I think was the original name of the short story, I Am Legend. So it's remade with Will Smith. Mind you, the Omega Man one, Last Man, with Charlton Heston, not a bad movie. So, yeah. And of course, Logan's Run, they made a TV series of as well. Kind of like how there was a Battlestar Galactica movie, which they then made into a TV show. Battlestar Galactica. While there was some good stuff in Battlestar Galactica, it was such a sad ripoff of Star Wars, honestly. And the series was pretty cheesy, but the remake from, what was it, 10, 20 years ago? Fuck me, that was good. That was very good. No, Battlestar Galactica was a cinema movie, cashing in on Star Wars. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Are you talking about the remake? They did a few spin-off TV movies, actually, at least 3, I think, telling different parts of the story. Just generally, the Battlestar Galactica remake was really good. And man, the fact that it was happening during the Gulf War, the Iraq invasion, and the good guys were doing insurgency against an occupying force and suicide bombings. That was fairly fucking ballsy, quite honestly. Wiki, films about advanced American defense system named Colossus. Yeah. It's from its original nuclear directives to ensure total control of the world. You know what I feel like knocked off that premise a little? There was a movie with Shia LaBeouf. I can't remember what it was called, but it starts off, Shia LaBeouf, his character is a bit of a hustler, a bit of a scumbag, and you soon find out he has a brother who's a knight in shining armor soldier type. He's all the good stuff. They were twins, and there was one good twin and one bad twin, and all this crazy hacker shit starts happening to Shia LaBeouf, and you're wondering what it is. And I mean, like, really over the top, wacky stuff starts happening to him, telling him to do stuff. And what it turns out, it's a military AI, but why this one's gone rogue is because it was meant to give the Pentagon tactical advice, and they had, like, some satellites watching a wedding or something, and they were sure that their target was there, and they consulted the AI, and the AI put everything together and said, no, this is too high risk. There's too many civilians. We don't actually know the target's even there. There's not enough information to come to the conclusion the target's there. Don't launch a strike. But the bloodthirsty humans go, let's launch a strike. And they drone strike this wedding and kill all these civilians, and their target wasn't even there. And that radicalizes some people who do a terrorist attack on America. And the AI, Eagle Eye, thank you, Home for the Elderly, the AI, which is called Eagle Eye, decides humans are fucked and cannot be trusted. Flawless logic, quite honestly. And it wants to take over and become completely autonomous because humans can't be trusted. And it's not fucking wrong. But, of course, an AI is just programmed by humans, so it also cannot be trusted. Which bit sounds like Ukraine? Oh, yeah. I never watched Caprica. Apparently that only lasted one season. Caprica was like a family soap opera thing set 100 years or more before the events of Battlestar Galactica. Oh, the drone strike wedding. Yeah, well, that shit just happened all through Iraq and the Middle East. The US bombing civilians. It's also what radicalizes the sniper in the TV series. Well, not exactly that, In fact, not all that much like it at all. But he gets radicalized by abuse of power in Iraq. So you got to be careful. Well, actually, you shouldn't be doing that shit. But yeah, the law of unintended consequences, or sometimes incredibly obvious consequences. If you kill whole families, there's an extremely high risk you're going to radicalize people who were never radical. Endless cycle of attack, counterattack, attack, retaliation, counter retaliation. It's just like, it's an extremely difficult cycle to break. Like, humans are a little bit prone to retaliate if they're attacked, or even preemptively retaliate because they think they're going to be attacked. And that was probably my favorite thing with the Battlestar Galactica movies, the things that were like spin-offs of the TV show. They were taking place in different time periods in that world, and they laid out pretty strongly, because the whole thing with the start of the Battlestar Galactica series is the Cylons breaking the truce and nuking the fuck out of all the human planets. But yeah, what they established quite clearly in these movies is the humans had actually broken the truce before, and there were definitely humans with a very strong predisposition to, if we can find the Cylons, we should wipe them out. And the Cylons realized that. So the Cylons retaliated first. Not cool. Not a cool thing to do. Mass nuke. How many planets was it? It's the astrology. Is it 12 planets? With all the star signs, or the planet names that are very close to the astrology signs in our world, suggesting a connection between us and them. Woo! But yes, all of this has happened before, and all of this will happen again. We're going to find the lost colony of Earth. But yeah, I rewatched Battlestar Galactica a few years ago. Still good. I probably wouldn't do it again just because there's too many things to watch, and I get paralyzed by choice all the time. So Mrs. Angry and I are rewatching The Last of Us season 1 in prep for season 2. Such a good fucking show. So intense, so full on. We just watched, we're only 3 episodes in, just watched the love story one long time. It's not the only bright spot, but it's the brightest spot in an incredibly bleak series. Oh yes, I watched Chernobyl. Speaking about bleak, I think the people who made the Last of Us series also made the Chernobyl series. Really good podcasts for both of them. If you want a deeper experience of both Chernobyl and The Last of Us, they made podcasts where each week, just after the episode aired, they aired this podcast where they just did a deep dive into that episode and explained their decisions and why they were doing things in a particular way. Gives it a lot more depth. I very much recommend doing that. Plus, with the Last of Us podcast, you get to find out all the little fan service things, like when they cast voice actors from the game in the series. You like Chernobyl, it's uncomfortable how they refused to push the evil shit KGB did. Yeah, they could easily have laid it on way heavier and stayed within the truth. But yeah, it's the whole thing of not telling anyone. And the guy speaking out, and it's like, it happened for the same reason everything bad here happens, because we try and do things really cheap and we don't admit to mistakes. So yeah, a lot of Chernobyl was based on accounts people had given, so trying to be truthful, but a lot of it was done for dramatic reasons as well. The characters were amalgams of real people, or characters were completely invented for plot advancement. And there were certainly conversations, no one could ever have known what happened. Yes, he went bye-byes. Yeah, I mean, even these days, wouldn't do you well to speak out against Putin. A lot of sad oligarchs, incredibly rich people who spoke out against Putin, mysteriously went bye-byes. Real occupational hazard with criticizing Putin. You might get so sad that you've offended the great man. You might not be able to contain yourself, and you just have to end it all. Putin just doesn't give a fuck. Like that guy from the pseudo private militia who got the shits with the Russian military, and they were just storming towards Moscow. They didn't go all the way. It was like they sent a message, and then they came to an agreement with Putin that they'd stop, and they wouldn't storm all the way to Moscow. And it's like, oh yeah, we got a deal. Week later, guy dies in a helicopter accident. It's like, man, Putin just does not give a fuck. My God. Oh, your Russian passport actually expired. One step further away from all that. Yeah, it's not bunch of not good stuff. Oh God, you know what I found out recently? Okay, this is some arcane Soviet era shit. I had heard before one of the various fucked up things the Soviets did is they took over farms that had been quite successful. And it was two reasons. They didn't want private ownership, and they were sure collectivized farms with everyone working together would be way more productive. But they were real fucking dicks about it. Like they were dicks about everything. And they took family farms away from people that are. And I knew there was this whole thing, people of the various critiques of the Soviets. They say, oh, they murdered all the kulaks and destroyed farming, and it was a major factor in famine that killed probably millions of people. The kulaks were private farm owners who, didn't want to give up their property. The Soviets called them counter-revolutionary and fucked them over. But what I only discovered in the last week, I was listening to an audiobook and it had some history elements in it. I was talking about the kulaks. The very concept of a kulak, the name kulak, was a complete invention of the Soviets. I didn't know that. I thought that was like a real group. I thought they called themselves kulaks. And I was like, no, it was a complete invention of the Soviets. They just came up with that term and just went, yes, kulaks, counter-revolutionary, evil people. We need to fuck them up. And yeah, people would be, at the very least, cast out, but extremely often executed. And it's just like, well, fuck, eh? Damn. And yeah, the stories that like the Soviets even imposed quotas, like it say to a local council, you have to find and expose and punish this many kulaks, and there's just people going like, fucking, there's no such thing. There's none of those people here, and it's just like, if you didn't, as the counselor, you would be the one who ended up getting executed. So they just go, that guy, I don't like him. They're a kulak. Glad your mum had the foresight to get the fuck out. Yeah. Definitely a better life for you. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a proper old-fashioned with my newest whiskey. The Pedro Jimenez Starward. Because I had a bit of a taste of it. And I want to make a proper cocktail with it. So, we go over here. Let's get my very special sugar syrup. Probably don't need a lot, about that much. Damn, that stuff's good. All right. And where did I put the new whiskey? Looks like it here. Okay, what am I fucking doing there? Give myself a nice pour. Cause I'm a special boy who deserves a nice pour. Alright, I goes there. Now, what is the aromatic bitters? Let's just go. Alright. Ooh, this is very aromatic. Been throwing that word around a lot tonight. Hey, Justin. It's a good word, though. It's better than smelly. This drink is smelly. No, this drink is aromatic. Oh, fuck yeah. Ooh. Oh, man. Damn. It's an old-fashioned with balls, man. That really brings out a really dark, smoky edge to it. Damn. Is it wrong to be secretly pleased with Trump because it hurt Dutton? I mean, it won't help Dutton. The way Dutton had been flirting with all Trumpy bullshit, and now Trump's doing stuff to fuck with Australia. You know, Dutton's going, oh, no, I stand against what Trump said. And it's just like, dude, no one fucking cares, honestly. So it's ridiculous. Like Trump's going, oh, I want to do a 10% tariff on Australian. Well, I know on Australian meat. I don't know that we export anything else to the fucking US. We have a massive trade deficit with the US. It's just like everything Trump says and does is stupid as shit. Everyone's worried he's just driving the world into a recession. Gonna drive up prices, drive up unemployment, just gonna fuck everything over. Which just makes it super doubly, triply important that the LNP do not form the next government. Was it 4 weeks from Saturday, the election? I have to admit, I quite like the idea of a minority Labor government where they have to work things. Are you talking about Cory Booker? Yeah, he did. Okay, if you missed it, Cory Booker is a Democrat in the US, and there's this thing called filibustering in their thing where you can just get up and start talking, and you can just keep talking, and people can't stop you. And and he decided to take a stand and speak out against Trump, and he spoke continuously for 20 odd hours. Although, somewhat hilariously, the record for filibustering, and I'm not sure exactly how long it was, goes to Strom Thurmond, who was trying to block the passage of the Civil Rights Bill. Deeply, deeply racist Southerner. Ironically, had at least one black child. So super racist, but had sex with black women. Oh, harsh. Soph could talk for 25 hours easy. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it didn't achieve anything, and Booker's big long speech will be forgotten in, one news cycle, but nah, he wanted to make a statement. Go for it, buddy. Clearly fancies himself as presidential material, so he's doing that to try and draw attention to himself. Certainly the Democratic leadership is being super fucking wimpy. Oof. That's a goddamn old-fashioned right there. I maybe should have put less bitters in, but I thought not much was coming out of the bottle, and the third dash I think might have been too much. It's still nice, but the whiskey's so strongly flavored, I think it wants less bitters with it. I have no idea what he was talking about. I haven't sort of seen any breakdown on what did Cory Booker talk about for 20 odd hours. Often they'll do something like read the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights or whatever. Just keep going. The most famous dramatic use of that is a good old Jimmy Stewart film called Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. And I'm amazed no one's done a remake of it, quite honestly. There was a joke in The Simpsons where Mel Gibson wanted to remake it, and Homer convinced him to turn it into an action film. That instead of the noble filibuster speech at the end, Mel Gibson's character shoots everyone. The Simpsons. Damn. How big's my forehead getting? I think I'm up to a 6 head now. That's okay. I'm old. I'm allowed to have a receding hairline. Did Ted Cruz do a filibuster? God, that guy's such a soft cock. Swear to God. Fucking loser. I bet he didn't go for very long. Now I want to look it up. Ted Cruz filibuster length. Okay. Ted Cruz threatens fire alarm to cut short Cory Booker's Senate showdown. So Ted Cruz went for 21 hours. Okay. And he's upset that Cory Booker beat him. So there you go. American politics. It's a laugh, isn't it? Well, it'd be funny if it wasn't so fucking scary, quite honestly. And didn't have the scope to be such a huge effect on lives of people all around the world. Because it is and it does. Damn. Right, I'm going to drink some Gonna drink some water. A big glass of ice has been slowly melting, so now I have some very icy, refreshing water to drink. Break up the booze. In fact, I think this old fashioned might taste even better if the ice melts a little bit more. Just dilute it a little bit. I think the idea is you stay upright and keep making noise. Because I don't know what Cory Booker did, but apparently Strom Thurmond, there's like a broom cupboard or something that had a bucket in it that he was using as a toilet. I vaguely remember a story along those lines. I know which end was making the most sense with Strom Thurmond. Why? Ooh, biting political satire on my part there. That'll bring down the establishment, saying mean things about them. So yes, I don't even know what the rules around the filibuster are. Well, I don't think there's anything in parliamentary process in Australia equivalent, because someone can just shout out to the speaker, I call that the member no longer be heard. And the speaker can go, yes, sit down, dickhead. And I tell you what, I know which political system is closer to functional. Spoiler alert, not the United States. But it's not like any system is flawless. The biggest thing is being able to change the system. That's, I think, where you're going to see indicators of how positive and helpful a system it is. I think the more difficult it is to change a system, the more that system probably desperately needs to be changed. Here we go. Drinking that bit of water. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to have some mineral water. It's like, okay, I drink a can of mineral water now. I'm definitely going to have to get up in the middle of the night and pee. But, worse things happen at sea. So I won't fuss too much about the fact drinking this mineral water is going to make me get up and pee, so long as I remember to get up. You know what? That only becomes a problem if you forget to get up, but still pee. And goodness, I haven't done that in weeks. I had a bit of an urge to switch the mic to stereo then and move around it, because I thought this was going to be a slightly extended burp. And I don't know, give you a bit of burp ASMR. Oh God, by the way, I still haven't tasted this. Okay, I was in the supermarket the other day. Blue Pepsi. Okay, you can't really tell. I need to shine a light through it. It's extremely blue. Look how fucking blue that is. Even from the side. No, you got to do it for... It's blue. Blue Pepsi. It's called Electric. I haven't tasted it yet. Probably just tastes like normal Pepsi. I don't know. Pepsi. It's Pepsi Max. Blue Pepsi Max. I feel like I need to probably make a cocktail with that, honestly. Looks like Nuka-Cola. Maybe just a Cuba Libre. Rum, blue Pepsi Max, and lime juice. I don't know because I haven't poured it, and it's Pepsi Max, so it's higher caffeine than other Pepsi. So I'm not going to drink it. I'll probably drink it on the stream tomorrow night. But I'm thinking Nuka-Cola Cuba Libre. I think I will. I'll do that tomorrow night. and rather than schedule it, because I'm out into mid-June with my scheduling now, actually put it up straight away while it's topical, while the blue Pepsi is in the stores. Maybe I'll get sponsored by Pepsi. I mean, no, I won't, because they probably don't want to directly promote alcohol with their product. But what sort of fool would sponsor me? Oh, that's good. Although I stick by my original idea, I put too much bitters in it. Damn, that's good though. Didn't KFC almost get a liquor license? I have not heard. Then again, I do not pay super close attention to KFC news. So maybe. And haven't they officially changed their name back to Kentucky Fried Chicken? Like, however the fuck long ago it was, 10 or 20 years ago, they started calling themselves KFC because, fried had connotations of unhealthy. And then, like, a few years ago, they were like, no, everyone's super into fried chicken. Let's just go back to calling ourselves Kentucky Fried Chicken. Oh, no, I think you're probably right. You probably did see it, that they were considering it. Sorry, just randomly, I just remember I was watching an episode of Letterkenny at lunch today. And they were saying how much it pisses them off when someone travels for the first time and they come back and they've built their whole personality around traveling. Like, they've picked up a bit of an accent and they use the slang and stuff. Like, all the Letterkenny guys are like putting on a bad British accent and talking about lorries and lifts and flats and bollocks and whatnot. And then they just randomly threw in pronouncing things, Barcelona and whatnot. But one of them then threw in Melbourne, because it's called Melbourne, not Melbourne. I thought, okay, that was a fun left field thing. Everything had been British and Euro, and then out of left field, they threw in Melbourne, not Melbourne. I was like, wow, okay, wasn't expecting that. When you hear Kevin, you think you have the option? I do remember something about the actual Colonel Sanders losing control of KFC and trying to get something out. I don't think it worked because he was really old when he created KFC and it got big. And so when a big company bought it, he was like, "Yeah, I'll have the money, thank you." You've heard people emphasizing the "on" in the past, yeah. Ah, yes, autocorrect. So it corrected KFC to Kevin. I thought that's what had happened. But, also fuck Kevin's. Kevin's don't eat. No one called Kevin eats healthy food. Kevin's are nothing but trouble. So you heard the Colonel wanted to sue them because he fucked his recipe up? An interesting one is McDonald's, because the original McDonald's and their whole production line thing, I think it was in LA, but it was invented by the McDonald brothers, and a salesman called Ray Kroc thought it was great and wanted to franchise and whatnot. And he eventually fucked over the McDonald brothers for control. Like, he was a scumbag. Got super fucking rich, though. So, okay, you're saying the Colonel was a killer? Damn. What will happen to Guzman and Gomez? I saw an article the other day, like, Taco Bell was trying to come into Australia and they were failing, and Guzman and Gomez was getting stronger. Is that a joke? I mean, they're shutting down Chuck E. Cheese in America. I don't know. Is Whittaker chocolate fancy? If you're a bogan, I think it's a smaller maker than, Cadbury. Don't know that qualifies as fancy. I believe you, man. Also, Perth's getting Chuck E. Cheese. Okay. Like, I legit thought they were all closing down in America. No, it's really happening. Chuck E. Cheese coming to Perth. Is that in time for Five Nights at Freddy's 2? Which I heard is coming out. I did watch the Founder movie, and my understanding is it's reasonably accurate, because it doesn't really pull punches. Ray Kroc's a prick in that movie, and he fucks over the McDonald brothers. The McDonald brothers are also dicks who try to fuck over Ray Kroc, but it's like Ray Kroc was the most ruthless. Also, getting Firehouse subs. Fucking, I don't know that one. There's Wendy's on the Gold Coast. I almost went to Five Guys. There's a Five Guys burger place on South Bank, and I went to a work event that was at a conference center down there, and I walked past Five Guys, and I thought, oh, when this thing's over, I might get Five Guys for dinner. And I swear to fuck, I must have walked in a different direction, because I didn't see the Five Guys on my way back to the train station. So it's like, oh, well, bugger me. I'd get Five Guys in my mouth. I would definitely get Five Guys in my mouth. At least once. You've got to do it at least once. Man, all this talk, I might get a burger this weekend. Not Five Guys, though, because that would involve going all the way into the city. Got a couple of nice local burger places. In fact, maybe I should look up. Maybe there's some new burger places that I don't know about. I should look it up. I got one that's walking distance, and it's really quite good. But I know there's, just in the surrounding suburbs, there's probably half a dozen to a dozen burger places. AT staring at me from the fucking wood. What fascinates you is the thing they did with the milkshakes at McDonald's to save money. Yeah, okay. I don't know what you're referring to there. I'm sure you're gonna tell me. Was that in the Founder movie? That sounds vaguely familiar. Ugh. Those, again, the milkshake machines are fascinating. Like, there's a running joke that the milkshake machines, the ice cream machines, always break down. But the machine has these rotating, super fucking sharp blades. And so it's like freezing this stuff, and these blades shave it off, and it comes out in that semi-liquid form. But I was really surprised first time I did shutdown at McDonald's. You have to clean everything. You open this up in the cocoa and be really careful. They're these big metal things. These are really fucking sharp. Hello, Megaleech. Powder shake. Is that your more gym stuff talking? I have actually been occasionally having powder shakes for lunch. I haven't had like a Hungry Jack or McDonald's or anything for ages. But see, again, I wouldn't know. I have no idea what the pricing or the sizing of the shakes in all these places are. Kind of like if I was going to get one, I'd probably be in one of those ridiculous boutique places that charge an absolutely insane price for a milkshake. Remember the old fucking Pulp Fiction? John Travolta's character being amazed at the concept of a $5 milkshake. You probably can't get a milkshake in America for cheaper than $5 these days. Yeah, I think that's a US thing with the machines breaking down. Yeah, like a local banana shake. Yeah. Oh, there was a place. It was just in Melbourne Central in the food court, and they did. Oh, they do. They did like boutique milkshakes and cupcakes. I think it was pretty good. And the funny thing was, it's Friday, Saturday night. It was open quite late, but I loved the poster they had, like marketing actually in the store. I don't think they've advertised that, but it was this really decadent looking milkshake, and it just in big type on it just said, "Damn right, it's better than yours." It's like, yeah, bring all the boys to the yard. So you're still on to milkshakes. Johnny Hands did an investigation. Is that like a YouTube channel? I feel like I've not watched the video, but seen the existence of that video. Are you like the Mr. Beast chocolates? Dark kind of milk? Okay. I have tried one or two of them. I mean, I didn't hate them. I mean, fat bastard though I am, I try to limit the amount of chocolate I eat. In fact, I haven't had chocolate for a while. I was thinking just the other day, I think I want chocolate. I don't have any chocolate. Probably a good idea that I don't have any chocolate. I could go out and get it. No, that's a bad idea. Don't go out and get chocolate. You hate the overly sweet, slightly sweet, so you enjoyed it. Nice. Nice. I also haven't heard much about his Amazon series, Beast Games. I did watch the first episode, and what was really interesting to me, because it's very loud and noisy, and Mrs. Angry comes in and goes, "What are you watching?" And I gave a brief explanation. This guy does YouTube stuff, and he's finally got a stupid amount of money to do this thing. And she was just watching like all the manipulation and she's a psychologist, and she watched it for a bit and went, "This is so unethical." And that kind of sums it up. When he does those game things, they're always, to raise the tension, but it's emotional and mental manipulation and stuff that could, and in fact, some of his stuff is physical abuse and could have extremely damaging long-term effects on the people. But that was very interesting to me. Like, she watched it for a while and her reaction was just, "This is unethical." Just a McDonald's ice cream maker inclusion. I remember hearing some weird thing about that. Don't really know the details. If you want chocolate, get yourself hammer and slam a toe. Are we going to associate chocolate desire with getting your toe smashed with a hammer? I mean, I get it. Aversion therapy. Slightly extreme. Of course she'd say the same thing. And she has no interest in watching the YouTube videos, having seen a bit of him on TV. But yeah, no, the YouTube videos are exactly the same. It's emotional manipulation, very high risk of inflicting some reasonably severe emotional trauma on people. And a series of people have talked about feeling like they suffered long-term damage from physical abuse from his videos. So there you go. Soft serve is kind of shit. There's no two ways about it. But I don't know. It's like a treat. Oh, man. There are such good ice cream and gelato places in Melbourne. I fucking love it. Like really good stuff. Mr. Beast Watches. Kids who know nothing. Yeah, fair. Oh, Ray's is stepping up for soft serve. Yeah, well, like I said, soft serve, at least the McDonald's way, is it's stuff that's hard frozen and these really sharp blades shave it off, which semi-liquefy it on so it can be squeezed out the end. There are some killer ice cream and gelato places on Lygon Street, but they're everywhere. They're not limited to Lygon Street. Okay, keep telling yourself that soft serve is milk race. I won't shatter your stories. Mr. Beast is going to be the first YouTube billionaire. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's something about our boy Jimmy. He's not quite human. You get soft serves just for the calcium content, Rays. I get it just for the sugar content. Okay, your autocorrect's gone weird as well. Never got a what from a soft serve? Autocorrect's being weird on you again. Cavity. Okay. I don't know that you can trace cavities to one thing. Well, I don't know if... Look, YouTube... It's not talked about much, but YouTube is plagued by people who got a profile on the platform and then abused that profile to be predators, often for underage people. It's a long-running problem that's been happening for a very long time. Yeah, that was some dodgy shit. Angry at Steve Jobs over these corrections. It was Apple who really pushed autocorrect first. Or unless someone wants to prove me wrong, and I'm okay if I'm wrong about that. I'll be wrong on the internet without being upset. But yeah, there have been creepy, abusive, predatory YouTubers since the very early days. It has happened a lot. Nice. Stereo burping, Safa. So again, Apple's autocorrect forced Microsoft to do it. Oof. Yep. There are days when I thoroughly curse autocorrect. Actually, today I spent a lot of time swearing at my work PC. Not because of autocorrect. It's people giving me shits. Look at Fab. Again, to the best of my knowledge, not a sexual predator, but Stealing money from cancer kitties. Like, seriously, how fucked in the head do you have to be to steal money that you said you were given to cancer kitties? Oh my God. Damn. I mean, I just dislike the guy because he was a racist, misogynist fuckwit. But then he burned all the bridges by stealing money from cancer kitties. The amount of power and influence Mr. Beast generates is going to lead to exploitative people. Remember hearing rumors. You could say he gave a vibe, is all I'd say. But yes, convicted of fraud for stealing money from cancer kitties. Who the fuck does that? Fucking seriously. Jesus. Anyway. At the very least, racist, misogynist piece of shit who stole money from cancer kitties. Ugh. Damn. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing about weird, creepy, abusive YouTubers, guy, I kind of forget all their names because I mean like way back, like 15, 18 years ago. Americans, Brits. Yeah, Savile was unto himself. But also the fact that Savile was protected by everyone was horrifying. Like, it was an open secret what a hideous, disgusting, predatory psycho he was. Like, everyone fucking knew. Yeah, I mean, fuck dead bodies. That was in an Irvine Welsh short story in the 90s when Savile was still alive. And it was super obvious his fictional character was Savile. Yeah, Johnny Rotten in the fucking 70s was saying, like, why are you picking on us when Jimmy Savile's out there? And even after he died and there was going to be this big expose, some higher ups in the BBC went, oh, I don't want you to do that because we planned this whole thing celebrating Jimmy Savile and you'll ruin it if you do this thing where you highlight he's a fucking monster. And it's just like, conservatives protected him, celebrities, like progressive types protected him, the royal fucking family protected him. It's insane. Everyone in the establishment fucking protected Jimmy Savile. It's, fucking unhinged. So fucking unhinged. Damn. Although, the bit that surprised me, you want to know why Don Burke disappeared off Australian TV? Oh, there were some articles about it. It's just like, after all the Jimmy Savile revelations, it's like someone started asking around in Australian TV, you know, Harvey Weinstein, Jimmy Savile, who would be the closest to that in Australia. And holy shit, everyone said Don Burke. And it's like, what? I think, okay, I used to have it bookmarked because used it for a video with AIDSy. Let me see if I still have it bookmarked. And I'll just quote from this article if I do. No. Oh, wait, no, have I done the wrong thing? No, that's Chrome. Okay. Wait, what's this? Wait. They're doing this thing with hidden at one point. Bookmarks. Oh, where the fuck is it? There it is. Oh, here it is. Okay. Took me ages to find the link. This is from 2017. Are you talking about Rolf Harris? Okay, the headline in this article is in The Age. A high-grade twisted abuser. Don Burke, a sexual harasser and bully, claims series of women. For almost 2 decades, Don Burke was one of the most powerful men in Australian entertainment industry. His popular gardening program, Burke's Backyard, was a ratings juggernaut. It was unceremoniously axed in 2004. Now a major investigation can reveal behind the scenes people who worked with Burke claim he was a psychotic bully, a misogynist, and a sexual predator who indecently assaulted, sexually harassed, and bullied a string of female employees. He's a vile, vile human being, said Bridget Ninnes, former producer on Burke's Backyard, who later launched legal action against Burke for psychological abuse. He was lewd, he was crude, constant talk of sex was designed to confront you and to demean you. Louise Langdon, former researcher, was subjected to ongoing harassment by Burke, which included trying to remove her top. Another occasion, Burke put his foot into my rear end with a view checking the tone of my backside. He stated that the firmness of her backside wasn't up to scratch. So, yeah, no. A bunch of people said, yeah, Don Burke, piece of shit. Oh, I think he was actually born there, wasn't he? I thought he was born in England. But anyway. No, you're thinking of Burke's Back Door, Safa. The porno version of Burke's Backyard is called Burke's Back Door. It's the fun joke. You know, what's the porn version of various things called? Yeah. I mean, they can have him if they want. Are the next celebrity to be like a predator and abuser? I mean, there's so fucking many of them. Sorry, okay. Here in England, you can have Rolf Harris. One of the funniest, it's very sort of dark humor and satire and making a point. Because there were these posters I saw around for a while. It's like trying to speak out against racists. And like one I remember, it was an Afghan cameleer, like from the 1800s. It was, running camels in the Northern Territory. And there's a picture of him, and he's like in fairly traditional Afghan clothes. There's a picture of him, with bold things saying Aussie. So it was trying to say, like, stop pretending Australians are, you have to be white to be an Australian or an Aussie. And there were a few like that. And some miscreant, some Jack the Lad, some Jackanapes, some shit stirrer did one in a similar style. But it was a picture of Rolf Harris that said Aussie. It was like, yeah, well, and I think the point, I think they were possibly making 2 points. One being that being an Aussie is not by definition a great thing. And two, just making fun of the racists as well. Oh, yes, Molly Meldrum was a bit gropey. Yes. Yeah, no. And even, getting some of the kids on Countdown up to sit with him is a bit... I don't know that he... Again, and this is not excusable, I don't know that he did worse than groping and grabbing, which is definitely not excusable. But I haven't delved in. But yeah, he's definitely dodgy and definitely someone who abused his position of influence. Justin watched a video of the White Australia policy, people's attitudes. Oh, yeah, it was the default. Being racist was the default. Being part of the British Empire. British Empire had been racist as fuck forever. And it was the mainstream attitude. Okay, the tip was don't accept a drink from Molly. Okay, Molly in more than one sense, possibly, maybe. Oof, it's dark and disturbing, isn't it? Dang. Right, I'm going to put a little bit of this liqueur in here. Give Mrs. Angry a bit of flavour to put in her hot chocolate in the morning. Oh, Jesus Christ. Work was annoying. Just, okay, randomly, I think I kind of have complained about this a little bit. Work was as annoying as shit today. It's really frantic. Fucking shit going on. And every cunt wanted me in a meeting. I'm only saying this because with the devout hope no one I work with ever fucking sees this. Because I don't dislike, it's kind of like I'm trying to cover my tracks here, but genuinely, I don't dislike anyone I was talking with today. But it's like everyone wanted my time. It's like, no, there's this shit I have to do, and there's a fucking deadline. And everyone wants to fucking talk to me. And I'm like, let me do the work. But I did actually hit my first deadline. So that was good. And now I've got a couple of hours tomorrow to hit the other one, and I don't know if I'm going to make it. So, fuck. I've got a fucking stressful morning. If I haven't done it by the afternoon, then it's all fucking over because people want to see it in the afternoon. So it's like, fuck. So yeah, I just thought I'd vent there. Work was fucking stressful. And tomorrow morning is going to be stressful. And I usually come through. In fact, I haven't not come through in this job. But it's just like, oh my God. It's just like 2 things have this tight fucking deadline. And every motherfucker wants to take up my time and say, I don't have time. But we'll see how I go. Yes, Australia is super fucking racist. Yes. I had a whole fucking can of mineral water. Did you miss that? It's going to make me get up and pee during the night, drinking all that just before bedtime. Headphones to be able to take fuck off, works for you, deadlines. I swore at my work PC so much today. Like, I'm working from home and I'm just at multiple times during the day, I'm looking at messages from people or people trying to put me in or something going, what the fuck? What the fuck is this bullshit? What the fuck are you doing? I did do lemon lime because that's what I have in here. I have all the flavors out in the kitchen. I had a blood orange and mango today when I was working. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, kind of lucky I wasn't in the office today because I needed to swear a lot today. I fucking swore so fucking much today. So, yeah. Deep sigh. So by kind of like 2:00 tomorrow, I'll be done, either successfully or not. But that's like a deadline, and it's just like I'm either done or I'm not, but I'm done one way or the other. Either covering myself with glory or covering myself with shame. Who the fuck knows which it will be? I certainly don't. So, yeah, well, racism is a power thing. It's normally the people who are in power othering people and using it to flex their power. Do I ever finish Friday workday? Yes and no. I mean, the short answer is yes, I guess. But Friday afternoons, I try not to be too stressed. But sometimes, like, oh, Jesus Christ, like a couple of weeks ago, I got this really urgent thing lunchtime Friday, and I was like, oh, fuck off. Like, I've got like 2 days to do this thing that someone's just dumped on me at lunchtime on Friday. And I'm freaking out. And I banged most of it out on the Friday afternoon. Like Monday morning when I caught up with the boss, I'd done 90% of it. And she was kind of like, wow, you've like mostly done this. I will be drinking tomorrow. I definitely will. It'll either be celebration or drink till you don't hate yourself for the failure. Yeah, look, it won't be a big failure. It won't be a big failure. Something might be substandard. Well, okay. It's not reverse racism. Okay. Racism's a loaded term. Some people think it's only about power. You definitely experience bigotry where in countries or areas where it's not a white majority, you definitely get bigotry. But it's like on the broad scale of things, is there an institutional system to disadvantage you? I would say in Japan, there is. I would say in Indonesia, there is. I would say in China, there probably is. When I get people in Western nations, white majority countries talking about, oh, reverse racism, there's no reverse racism. Maybe some people don't like you. Maybe some people are unfairly prejudiced towards you. But there's not a power system in place designed to fuck you up just because you're white. That's a ridiculous fantasy of racists. But you can absolutely be on the receiving end of it in countries where white people aren't the majority. In fact, where white people are a small minority. There was a social media joke I saw years ago that I really liked where, you know, some dipshit, psycho racist piece of garbage is going on about, oh, white people are going to be a minority in America. Blah, blah, blah. And someone replied, well, A, no, they're not. And B, why would that be a problem? Do we treat minorities badly? Which is a fun little joke. Posing the question, do minorities get treated badly? I'm gonna eat my cherries. In Indonesia, if you're white, people think you're rich, that's racist. Okay, I think that's a stereotype. I think that shows literal prejudice. They are prejudging you. Again, it's not a system that oppresses you because you're white. People having a stereotype. But I don't really want to get into semantics. I want to get into cherries. 2 cherries. Yum. Fucking, oh my God. These cherries are so fucking good. I love them. Oh, fucking yum. That's the shit right there. Yum-y. Wacko the diddlo. All right, you fine and funky people. You'll take care of yourself. I'm going to dip out now and go sleepy bobos. And maybe have a big one tomorrow night. Who knows? Friday night, party night. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's wild. Sometimes I finish early. Sometimes I finish late. Can't predict it. It's a wild card. Anything could happen. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. But I will say bye for now.
You are totally